Bro, I'm not good at morning bucking, right? I'm not good at morning sex. But this morning, I wanted some. I had some as well, like. Today, I'm reacting to LeBron James, his watch collection. The only two things I know about LeBron James is that first of all, he's a funny and second of all, he's very tall and plays basketball. Does he still play basketball?
Yeah, he does. Plays for the Lakers.
He still plays. Is the man at like 100 years old now?
36.
Ball floats it ahead to Bridges, and Bridges stepped out of bounds. So quick turnover for the Suns. And LeBron James here, no doubt to cheer on one of his closest friends, Chris Paul. Beautiful voice of Adele.
Adele sitting at this game. You know that Adele and I were married at one point.
Really?
Have you never seen Adele's ex-husband?
No.
Google Adele's ex-husband.
Oh my god.
And LeBron James here, no doubt to cheer on one of his closest friends, Chris Paul.
Listen, funny intro. Can't see the watch. Know it is an AP, and that's about it. I can't see the watch. Jimmy Kimmel.
Our guest, who's coming out right now, needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give him one anyway.
That's not Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know who this host is, but he needs to leave the He's wearing a Frank Muller bullshit.
LeBron James!
Much appreciative, man, and I'm happy to be in LA now.
Oh my God. Is this what I think this is? This is the Eye of the Tiger Rolex Daytona. This is mad. This is the Rolex Daytona on the Oyster Flex, reference number 116588TBR. I don't know much about James LeBron's watch collection other than AP making a watch specifically for him in 2013. But starting off with this watch, I think we need to put a money counter on because this is mad. This Rolex Daytona, reference number 116588TBR, is valued between $155,000 and $160,000. I don't know, this is so hard to see. This is so hard to see, mate. One thing for sure, it's a Patek Philippe Nautilus. If I look very closely, it looks like a 5980 in rose gold. That's a monster of a watch. Like, the Patek Philippe 5980 was the first ever fully integrated, in-house produced chronograph made by Patek Philippe. In 2013, Patek Philippe decided to make this watch in rose gold. Absolutely spectacular. Patek Philippe is phasing out the 5980 with the steel version being completely discontinued. Nowadays the 5980 is only available in rose gold on the bracelet, rose gold on the leather strap, and gold and steel with a blue dial on the bracelet. Today's value of the 5980 in full rose gold sits between $275,000 and $300,000. Keep in mind, about a year and a half ago, I was able to buy one at $100,000. Oh, of course, when you have money, you have Richard Mille. That's how it works in this world. This is the Richard Mille RM1103 flyback chronograph, no bother. You wanna hear something funny? This watch is made out of 18 karat rose gold and titanium.
Why is that funny?
This is funny, mate. What are you talking about? This RM1103 is worth between $420,000 and $450,000. That is f***ing mad bunkers.
I thought I read that play just as well as I read any play in my career.
He's currently wearing something weird. It's like this, right? Massive.
Looks alright in him.
Yeah, because the guy's f***ing 10'6", mate. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Arnold Schwarzenegger Legacy watch. That's why the f***ing thing is so big, 48mm. Like, this was a watch that was made in a collaboration with Arnold. I think the first watch that AP made for or with Arnold was in the late 90s. For the movie End of Days. A watch that was used as a prop in the movie. A watch that didn't work. Really, really cool. Ever since, there's a really strong relationship with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Audemars Piguet. Reference number 26371IO. A watch that is made in full ceramic. This watch carries a value between $32,000 and $35,000. LeBron James!
Do I have a speech or something prepared? I really don't. I'm just gonna speak from the heart like I always do.
This actually looks like a 36mm Day-Date, but it's not. It's actually a Day-Date 2. That's actually the biggest Rolex Day-Date ever produced. 41mm in case. You know what? That's not my most favorite Rolex Day-Date on the planet, to be honest. For me, it is completely out of proportion. The Rolex Day-Date 2 was the first ever Rolex Day-Date that wasn't 36mm. In 2008, Rolex introduced the Rolex Day-Date 2. The bezel was too big, the case wasn't sleek. Clearly Rolex thought the same, because in 2015, Rolex changed the entire watch and reintroduced the Rolex Day-Date 2 into the Rolex Day-Date 40. They changed everything on this watch, the proportions of the bezel, the proportions of the case, and as well the end links where the presidential bracelet meets the case. And I think they absolutely hit a home run with the Rolex Day-Date 40. But he's not wearing a Rolex Day-Date 40, like he's wearing a Rolex Day-Date 2. Reference number 218238, which is valued between $55,000 and $60,000. That is mad, Mr. LeBron James. This watch was introduced in April of 2021, which was only a few months ago. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Concept Black Panther. This watch celebrates the beginning of the collaboration of Audemars Piguet and Marvel Entertainment. In April of 2021, the entire watch world talked about this launch. It was completely unexpected. How AP launched this watch together with Kevin Hart and Marvel Entertainment was absolutely spectacular. This watch was only made in 250 pieces, but during the launch of this watch, the first ever Black Panther watch was sold on a charity auction for a whooping $5.2 million without fees, because including fees it turned out $6.9 million. I actually got the exact watch offered to me for $250,000. Unfortunately, I needed to pass on to that watch because I didn't have enough money in the bank account. But I must say I regret that, because today's value of this watch sits between $450,000 and $500,000. I actually, if I bought that, I could have sold it for $450,000. I could, if I had the money at that moment, I could have made 200 grand. Like, my life. Johnny?
Yes?
Can you ask the people to subscribe to the channel and to follow me on Instagram, please?
Guys, Nico would like you to follow him on Instagram and also subscribe to the channel.
Yes, thank you. What the is he wearing? A tea towel? What the actual You know how rare this watch is? He's actually wearing the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, the Queen's Road. We actually have that watch here. I swear. You know what the thing is? That watch was only made 100 times. This watch was dedicated to the first road ever built in Hong Kong by the Brits. Like, that's why it's called Queen's Road. Like, this watch is mad that we have this watch. Tim! What? We have a Queen's Road. You know how rare this is? Off. How many pieces are produced of this? 100. 100, well done. That's that watch! 12, 13 years ago, this watch was introduced in 100 pieces. And he has one and we have one. That's class. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Queen's Road, reference number 26198 Ti, and the Ti stands for titanium. At the moment, there's only 2 of these watches in the world for sale. This is one of them. If you want to buy a really rare Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, I'm gonna put the link in the description right now. And the value of this watch sits between $35,000 and $40,000.
Last year was the first, like, I really had some time to go watch them play in the summer. Like, really sat down.
No way. That can't be, can it? I think in this clip, he's wearing a Patek Philippe 6102R, a Celestial. That's mad.
Jesus Christ, Nick. That's madness, that is.
A Celestial watch can show you accurately the entire universe on your wrist. It's mad. If set correctly, every star, every alignment is ridiculously accurate. So accurate that Patek Philippe guarantees the accuracy for an hour each century. That's how accurate that is. This maybe sounds mind-blowing, but it's a very old technology. The first ever Celestial watch was made in 1927 by Patek Philippe for a guy called Jamie Ward Packard. That was the first ever Celestial watch. A pocket watch where you could see the entire universe. The only thing is, he didn't really enjoy it that long, because 6 months after he received that watch, the died. We call that watch actually the Packard, named after Jamie Ward Packard, or James, I'm saying Jamie, but I think it's James Ward Packard. Anyway, that is mad, mate. The Patek Philippe 6102R is worth between $300,000 and $325,000. Like, it's not the value that really stands out. The thing that makes it really impressive is the fact that it demonstrates the entire universe accurately using 315 mechanical parts. You know what? I'm just gonna wear this. There's only 2 in the world. Buy a watch. Look at that, boy. You see that blue G-Shock lookalike? That's the RM1103 Jean Todt. Apparently Jean Todt is some motorsport executive. It's exactly the same movement as the RM1103 we discussed earlier, the rose gold titanium one. However, this is not rose gold. It's blue.
So what is that?
This is what we call blue TPT quartz carbon, invented and patterned by Richard Mille. It's actually really expensive and really hard. The funny bit is this watch retailed back in the day at $140,000 and was limited to 150 pieces. It's actually mad bunkers because the current value of this watch sits between $600,000 and $700,000. But that's the current value. If we're gonna discuss this watch in about 6 months' time, it's probably up to about $1 million US. Mad, but for now you can put 700,000 on there. Like, remember earlier I said that AP brought a watch out with LeBron James?
Yeah.
That's that watch. This is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore. Reference number 2621010 OI for titanium and rose gold. That's the O stands for rose gold. O because in rose there's an O. You see what I mean? And titanium is the E. I. Is the E or I?
Aye.
Aye. Audemars Piguet and LeBron James introduced this watch together in 2013. The case itself is about 44 millimeters big, which is, for every normal person, quite big. The watch was limited to 600 pieces, and today this watch is valued between $75,000 and $80,000. LeBron James, you have some watch collection, boy.
What would you rate it out of 10?
I'm gonna rate him high. He likes rubber straps. Clearly he likes rubber. He probably has a wee rubber fetish, right? So I would rate his watch collection at least an 8. Well done, LeBron James. Now do dunk for me. Oh.
This is the worst ASMR I've ever listened to in my life.
LeBron James.